All right. Hello, everybody. Terrence Bob here with another episode of Live from the Lair. And hopefully my microphone is working properly today. It was kind of cutting in and out last time, so we'll try to unfuck the whole thing here. Hopefully it'll work. If not, this GoPro is like 6 years old. I probably need to get a new one. I should probably just break down and buy one, but I'm a cheapskate because I'm retired now. If you noticed, I haven't shaved in a few days. I'm trying to see what facial hair looks like. I'm probably going to shave it off because it's kind of itching me and it doesn't really work for me. So, just got a few more stories left here and then we'll be done with the whole Special Forces Q course. Basically, you know, when you're doing the whole Robin Sage thing, there's shit going on all the time. You know, we'd go out and do raids and ambushes, go do combat operations with like the local, guerrilla force, which was some, mooks from the 82nd. Usually they were there because they fucked up and they got stuck in some fucked up details, so they all had bad fucking attitudes. But you have to deal with what you got. There was one guy who was like a super fucking dickhead. And, we had to put up with this bullshit because, we can't really have a conflict with one of the, guerrilla force people because, you get a bad grade and you could, get the G chief pissed off at you. And that's the guy who's in charge of the guerrilla forces. So we just played along with it, placated the asshole. And then after we graduated, we went and found the dude because we talked to one of his buddies who gave him up, told him what unit he was in, and we beat the living fucking shit out of that guy, the motherfucker. God damn him. He didn't die or anything, and I don't think he was permanently maimed, but he got his ass fucking kicked hard. And his two buddies that were with him, they knew the deal, and they just said, fuck him, he's a dick anyway. And he got fucking waylaid, and we didn't like kick him on the ground, and it wasn't like 3-on-1, it was a 1-on-1 thing, but this guy got his ass beaten so fucking badly, none of us actually had to intervene or get involved at all. I mean, watching him get his ass beat was quite satisfying. But that's neither here nor there, and that's just a side note and a warning to you people out there that it pays to not be a fucking dick. Just saying. Okay, I don't usually do this, but there's a couple stories in here that I didn't witness these, and I wasn't present when they happened. I wasn't there when they happened, but they were so fucking funny. I gotta tell them to you. And the 18 Delta we had on our team told us these fucking stories around the fire and shit, and they were so fucking funny. Like, apparently, they used to have the 18 Delta course, like a majority of it down in Texas. I think it was San Antonio I don't remember the actual place in Texas, but this is where they train a lot of the nurses for the military. So, the one medic we had there, he was pretty homely looking dude, kind of had a pot belly on him. And he was fucking banging like, 2 and 3 chicks a fucking week. They were like knocking on his door with beer. I mean, what the fuck is going on in the world when that? I mean, why the fuck I didn't even know this? I would have won 18 Delta. I mean, I got a fucking high IQ. But fuck, I wanted to fucking do the gun thing. I mean, that's what I was built for. I'm just saying, gentlemen, if you want to get some quality tail, maybe you go 18 Delta. On second thought, I heard because the women were fucking interfering with the 18 Deltas in the course so badly, they actually moved it to another location. I can't confirm that. That's just rumor mill shit, but that's what I heard. And it would only make sense because, 18 Delta schools, like 18 months long. They invest an insane amount of fucking time into you, and you fuck it up, lose all that money and time banging too much quim. Not that's a bad thing, but when it interferes with your life, then, you should probably have a discussion with the little head and tell them to quit fucking up your life. A lot of guys that happens to, I was one of them back in the day, Yeah, I married a whore, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Listen, man, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're a sorry motherfucker. So anyway, he explained to me, like, the day, you know, you go and you do the whole fucking 18 Delta thing, and at the end, now I'm not sure if this takes place in Texas or if it took place on Bragg. I heard that they did some of it on Bragg. I'm not sure. I'm not 18 Delta, but like towards the end, like the last 8 weeks of you know, 18 Delta, they march everyone out to the rail yard, and a fucking train with the box cars roll up. They open the box car and they just start throwing out these sickly, fucked up goats, and whatever you get is whatever you get. And if your fucking goat dies, you go back to the beginning of Goat Lab, not the beginning of the 18th Delta course. But you know, and there was a couple of fucking tricks that these guys would do. Like, number one, you know, they would get this fucked up goat, and you know, what's the best way to keep a goat from fucking dying? You give it fucking steroids. So they're fucking giving all kinds of these crazy fucking shit they give bulls or whatever the fuck, bodybuilding. I don't even know, because I don't fuck with steroids. But you know, before you know it, you got this buffed out fucking goat, and it's got the horns. It's all fucking pumped up and just mean as shit. You can't even go in the cage with it without it wanting to knock you down, you know, because they get incredibly aggressive. But for instance, like this one guy, he had roided his goat out to the point where he looked like a little Hercules with horns. And, you know, and they all acted pretty much, you know, copacetic for the most part, until one of the guys accidentally, you know, had his female goat, and it got in with the male goats and over, you know, went into the pen where all the male goats were. And then once you got the one female goat in there, all of the male goats become turbo fucking assholes. And they start going fucking crazy. So my buddy's standing there, and he's got this one goat, and then this buddy's got another goat, and this big fucking Hercules goat fucking rams this one goat and kills it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, and his buddy got fucking recycled. He'd go back 2 fucking weeks and start all over because this goat was murdered by another fucking goat. Dude, talk about getting buddy fucked, man. That is just hilarious. And then this one other guy, you know, he told me a story of another guy in his class who totally got over on the whole fucking deal. His goat was out in the pen. And you come out and you check on your goat every hour and a half or 2 hours to make sure it's not dead or whatever. So he goes out there. This goat is fucking 3 sheets to the wind, stone cold fucking dead. Nothing he can do. I mean, he's like, oh, fuck. So what does he do? He takes 2 like bits of 2x4, puts it between his legs, you know, holds it there, and lets the goat freeze in that position overnight. Comes out in the morning before the cadre get up, stands the goat up in the herd, you know, takes away the 2x4. So when the cadre come out and they count all the goats. All right, right. Then he comes back down after they leave, takes the dead goat, he throws it in the furnace, he incinerates it. So they come out and count him again, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and his goat's missing. And they're like, your fucking goat's gone. He's like, I don't know, it was here this morning. And they're like, you're getting fucking recycled. And he appealed it. He goes, look, my goat didn't fucking die. It fucking ran off. Man, what the fuck do you want me to do? I mean, it just ran off. It's an act of God. So he totally gets over, because when you go at the end of Goat Lab, they take the goat, they put him in this fucking halter, and they shoot him with an M16 in a specific location. And then the 2 medics work on one goat, and you have to keep the goat alive. I think it's 72 hours, and then they anesthetize the goat, and that's it. But since the 2 are working on one goat, the commander of the school was like, all right, well, I guess you're working with his goat, you know, until we find this other one. That goat went up in smoke, man. He was fucking gone. Let's see. Sorry, we covered the steroids, the goat killing the goat, the shooting. That's some funny ass shit right there. And so apparently, wherever they do the goat lab at, they used to have all these PETA fucking protesters out there, like, you can't fucking kill the goats, it's inhumane. Listen, you gotta practice on something, and it's better to work on an animal and keep humans alive than it is to go into the situation cold and maybe the human will live or die. That's just my take on it. Fuck the goats, I don't give a shit about them, the hell with them. And so we'd be out in this patrol base doing our deal, and I discovered that I have like this weird aversion to how fucking the animals are killed. For instance, we ate a lot of chickens, all right? Now, if they just cut the chicken's head off and, process the chicken, I didn't have a problem eating the chicken. Didn't bother me at all. But this one guy, the Puerto Rican, would fucking put a stick down, put it behind the chicken's head, stand on the stick, and then pull the chicken's head off, which I found incredibly disgusting. And if I could not eat those goddamn chickens when he killed them that way, I just couldn't do it. I'm a pussy. Gotcha. I couldn't do it. It just couldn't. No. And then we got actually a couple goats to eat, which were actually pretty tasty. I mean, the Puerto Rican cooked them up Puerto Rican style, and they weren't bad. They're a little tough and just a smidgen gamey, but hey. Maybe they should have brought out the steroid goat. We ate him. More meat on him. I don't know. Those fucking goat stories always fucking get me. And, and the weird thing is just like at the end of the Q course, you walk your way in and then you walk your way out, right? So we pack up all our shit. I'm walking out with this incredible amount of horse shit, just maybe a little less weight because I didn't have all the food, and we had to fucking haul that shit all the way out, and I just could not wait for that to fucking be over. So we come back, and then you have the it's like Ranger School, but it's like a big peer session where you grade everyone in your particular class, that was out on your team for Robin Sage on 1 through 10 or whatever you give them. And then if you haven't been peered before, you can afford to get peered and still graduate, as long as you had a good standing within the class. But the one dickhead who threw the round in the fire and fucking fucked with us, we all peered that guy, and I think he got kicked out of the course. I don't remember. I think he got recycled to the day one recycle for the next class because he was a former airborne ranger, so I think they cut him a break. Normally, if you get peered that badly, you're fucking out. Hopefully, he unfucked himself. I don't know what happened to the guy. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to shame the guy in his retirement years because that ain't cool. Other than the fact that he was a raging asshole. He didn't get anybody killed. Nobody got hurt. He was just an asshole. And, I know lots of assholes, and, I don't want to ruin their career or see them dead or injured because they are, unless they, in the act of being an asshole, they cause somebody else to get fucked up. All right, so we're going to get done with that. That's pretty much Special Forces Q course. I've covered it the best I can. I'm sure I've missed a few stories here or there. If they come to me, I might do a catch-all fucking video down the road. Maybe, catch up on any stories I forgot about. Let's see. We finished that. I was in the reserves, so I didn't have a slot to go to the active duty SEER school on Bragg, which I'm happy for because I have a problem being starved. You can beat on me or whatever, walk me until my feet bleed, throw me in a cage, freeze me, make me eat fucking dirt, whatever. But just, I'm not good with the whole starving thing. I think Ranger School ruined that for me. But I did go to an Air Force SEER school. It was like 6 weeks or 6 months later. And that one was in Washington State. And it wasn't that bad at all. It wasn't like the active duty one where the Army runs it, where they just fucking kick the living shit out of you. Yeah, there were some challenging times to it, but for the most part, it was run by the fucking Air Force, so it's not really story worthy. They slapped it around a little bit, but it wasn't anything like the stories I got from the actual fucking active duty Army SEER school, which, by the way, they revamped because one of the SEER instructors, when I was in the Q course, was ambushed and assassinated by one of the students that was from the SEER school. So apparently they kicked the shit out of this guy so fucking hard that they actually laid in wait for this one particular instructor while he was doing PT in the morning, and I believe he was shot like 30 some odd times with a 10-22 at like 10 meters. Some shit like that. And I don't even know if they caught the guy. I don't know the details in regards to that. I just remember it was a big hootie-doo, and they actually revamped a lot of the, especially the hands-on portions of the SEER school, because, when you beat on a guy to the point where he just says, fuck it, I'm going to assassinate you down the road, that's a fucking problem. Okay, it shouldn't get to that level. Of course, this is just my opinion as the old guy now, but I pretty much had the same opinion back in the day, and apparently other people did too, and shit got reworked, but it is what it is. Anyway, gentlemen, I think that's it for me tonight, and you take it easy, and I'm probably going to shave this shit off in the morning.